Like, what are the problems that you see out there that you think that Matic Network can, implement a better solution for?
Yeah. So let me attempt it in a different way. So right now you see that many of the other, projects, let's say Tron and EOS are coming up. Why? Because they have like faster transactions, low gas fees, low costs for the transactions. And then there are a lot of people who they are developing. Like these projects are saying that, okay, if you see the statistics, a lot of people are developing on them, right? But Ethereum had the original mind share, right, of all of these dApp developers. And even now, like by far 95% of the developer firepower and the brain power, is developing on Ethereum. Now imagine you had all of those same features plus the security of Ethereum on Ethereum itself, right? If as a developer on Ethereum, whatever you are doing on Ethereum main chain, you can simply use the same code, everything same, port your application in like 20 minutes, and then have your application up and running with these small, like much fast transactions, and like 1/100th of the fees that you were paying on Ethereum, and exactly same experience, exactly everything, no need to change your code and everything. And users, they are also already familiar with Ethereum and nonsense.
Thing is that if we are able to solve some of these core problems like the slow transactions and high fees and the insecure off-chain computations and things like that, ensuring the decentralization along with the security, I think that that would be the ideal recipe to achieve mass adoption for the blockchains. So yeah, so that's in a nutshell is what Matic is about.
Why are you guys so different? Like, what makes your solution better?
Yeah. So see, one of the biggest thing is that when you talk about this scaling solution, so many of them are experimental projects also. Like, even if they are able to implement some particular approach, that's not like user friendly, that's not usable. And, for developers also, it's crazily difficult to build on top of them. But compare that with Matic, our main focus is two things. Everybody talks about user experience. Of course, user experience is important for us also. The second thing is the developer experience, like how quickly you can acquire that developer traction. And Matic actually, piggybacks on a large developer, ecosystem of Ethereum itself. Like I'm saying that if you are an Ethereum developer, you are a Matic developer already, and you don't need to learn even anything new to start porting your application to Matic Network. And then, suddenly your application, which had 15-20 second confirmation times of the transactions, and then, heavy cost of gas, now your application is as good as a, centralized application. That is the power. Like in a very simplified way, I'm telling that, whatever applications already are there on Ethereum, and, Solidity is already one of the most used programming language for blockchain applications and dApps. We are enabling all of them with a scalability platform where they don't have to do anything, simply go deploy and start using it.
Or what are you thinking for the future? How will this play out? Will it go beyond Ethereum?
Yeah, so basically we started with Ethereum because it's the most successful blockchain. Most of the blockchain developers and the best of the brains are working on Ethereum, and that's why. And Plasma also, came out from the Ethereum ecosystem itself. And having Ethereum as the first layer provides us the key, critical mass, which allows easy migration of these applications which are currently based on Ethereum to adopt Matic layer 2 solutions. But of course, that's not the only, that's not any restriction for us. Like we can add multiple base chains, and in fact, that's one of the future use cases or features of Matic sidechains, where multiple base chains can be there, and then people can actually interact with assets from multiple base chains like Ethereum on Matic sidechain. So it creates a homogeneous sort of cross blockchain environment. So that can also create hundreds of use cases which are right now maybe unthinkable.
Are they going to somehow are they just investing and that's it, or is Coinbase going to look to use Matic technology, or how far along is this thing? I want to know what's going on, who's building on it, who's using it. Where are you guys right now in the whole timeline?
Yeah. So, and apart from Coinbase investing in us, you may have seen that the head of engineering of wallet at Coinbase, Pete Kim, he's our advisor, right? So he's advising Matic, and he advises on a lot of adoption things and all that. And in our publishing that we did for the Coinbase this thing, so their wallet will have Matic integration. Coinbase wallet will have Matic integration.
So it is Coinbase wallet's going to use Matic. That's a fact.
Yeah, I mean, it is going to support the assets on the
That's
on the
big.
layer 2.
Now, the Coinbase venture announcement with Matic is huge news, and I want to say why in regards to we obviously know Coinbase Ventures. It's on their website. We know Matic posted a Medium article about it. We need to understand what a seed investor is. And a seed investor, if you go to Investopedia or one of those websites, you can see that a seed investor trades capital for equity. So they trade money for ownership in something. So what that means is Coinbase, because Coinbase Ventures is Coinbase. That's just their venture capital section of Coinbase. Coinbase owns part of Matic. We do also know that Pete Kim is the head of mobile engineering. We already with Coinbase, we already know that this is going to be integrated into the Matic platform, into the Coinbase wallet, or Coinbase apps and so forth.
So, many people, because Matic is just now going public, but many people don't know that, many big projects are already using, Matic Network. And, some of these projects are actually top 100, by market cap. They are going to use Matic Network for their, marketplaces and, other kind of extension applications. And plus, there are a lot of startups which are already building on Matic, and they have, their applications to show. Recently, we, spoke introduced public to the Crypto Store, which is actually an application built by an Indian, developer who's a dropout, but, absolutely fantastic, developer. So yeah, so in terms of the use cases, like, of course, gaming has been one of the bigger use cases of blockchain, and people expect gaming to be one of the first, or the one of the earlier use cases that will be very successful. So gaming is one. Then financial use cases like payments, because Matic side chains act as like really fast, have really fast transactions. So I'm very sure that once people see the usability of Matic side chains in terms of their transactions, you will realize that these are much better in terms of the user experience as well as the overall network viability. They are much better than many of the like big projects, like I mean, I don't want to directly name the projects, but many big projects in the payment space also. So payments and financial things is also one. But then the bigger and the most evolving scenarios or use cases are coming out of the DeFi landscape, which is the decentralized finance. And we are also like specifically focused on DeFi. And we want a lot of DeFi use cases to be utilizing Matic, because of course, I already spoke about the user experience and the usability of these kind of dApps. And we think that this will make Matic really one of the most adopted blockchain.
Like, you're not really, there's no competition here. What you're trying to do is you want to bring everything together. You're not trying to compete. You're trying to actually be like the glue to bring everything together. I think that's really interesting, man. Do you have any right now? So I don't know how far you are along. I mean, you guys are testnet. Is that where you are currently?
Yeah, we are testnet and very, very close to alpha mainchain. I mean, like 80, 85, 90% we have already developed. We'll be very soon going into the mainnet.
Is anybody using it? Like anyone that we would know right now? Has anyone trialed it? Is anyone planning to use it right now?
Yeah, so there are many like well-known teams. So one of them is a top 100 project like Decentraland, they are already building their marketplace. So Decentraland is a virtual world on blockchain, right? So
okay.
Yeah, and they are building their marketplace on top of Matic Network, where you can trade the assets, lands, and everything over there on the side chain.
The developer friendliness and developer experience is also very important for us, and due to that, we are picking up a lot of popularity amongst Indian developers. And we all know that the number of Indian developers is like absolutely massive.
You made a really important point, and that is that you're leading the way in India, and that population is literally massive. So there's already you're in pole position in that region, and arguably one of the best layer 2 solutions to hit the blockchain or to hit this space for some time.
And the fact is people didn't even realize that you guys have been involved in this Ethereum space for so long. You've been in the background working on tons of stuff. It's not like Matic Network is just this brand new thing that came out of nowhere. It's sort of like the implementation of all of this hard work compiled into this project. I feel like we've been going for a while here. I guess just sort of, what can we expect? Like short term, and then long term. What's the ultimate goal? For Matic.
Yeah, I mean, from us, one thing we can promise is that you can keep hearing about, the releases, the adoption. So I, at times, myself, like internally to our team, I call ourselves the most adopted layer 2 solution. Like, I don't know that any layer 2 solution in the market right now which is more adopted from external parties, not like they are themselves building applications, but adopted by external parties. It's like one of the most adopted projects.
And most people are just hearing about you for the first time.
In the top 50, technical schools in India, the technology schools in India, we would have sponsored the hackathons and supported projects, supported developers from around more than like 50% of that, like more than 25 colleges. So what I'm trying to say is that amongst the top 25 colleges in India, the technology schools, the developers will know about Matic. So, Binance Launchpad has a very, very, what should I say, like
rigorous,
rigorous process. Yeah, rigorous is the right word. So very rigorous process, and it took around 6 months for us to complete all the process in terms of the technical evaluations and the questionnaires and things like that. And the technical evaluation team in Binance, it's also like some of the questions we got were like really, really very deep technical questions, and completely understanding even the plasma space itself. So that also was very impressive for us. And on the business side also, all the things like future long-term plans of the project, what we want to do to achieve the mass adoption, user adoptions, and things like that. So it's a huge, like the evaluation document ourselves is like over 100 pages. So that's extremely rigorous evaluation.
Right. Yeah. So they're clearly doing their due diligence, and they're making sure from their standpoint that they're supporting quality.
Absolutely. And that, I think that only worked in our favor, where the team realized that this is a quality project, and we are very thankful to them that they are.
And I appreciate you explaining this, because a lot of us just don't know what these processes are like, and it's good to know that there was a 100-page document that literally explored all the different facets of Matic, so that we can be rest assured that there's been proper processes put in place.
And they also provide a lot of help in terms of reaching out to these things, and in future the things will unfold, and you will see that.
It's good to hear that as well, Sandeep.
And I just want to do a price prediction video, and I haven't done one of these in a while because price predictions are dumb for the most part. However, this one I feel so confident in because of the technology behind it and what they're actually doing, and I'll explain it in this video, and then I'll back it up with a little history on how things work in this market, so that you can see that it's 100% plausible, especially in this situation. We've never seen a token that's partly owned by Coinbase in a bull run. Go ahead and just use the Matic app as an example and see how fast it is. And when you're able to settle things that quickly with zero fees, and then be able to use stable coins on top of it. And that's just one section of Matic. Just one section. And if we look at their white paper, they have so many sections that they're going to be able to do with the use cases. They have the payment platform. And here's the coolest thing. They have the NFT tokens, the Ethereum, ERC20 tokens. So they're going to have all of these at first, right? So this is the first part of this, and they're going to be adding more things to it, more blockchains to this eventually. But they're going to have payment APIs, SDKs, dApps for merchants. They're going to be able to build web portals. They're doing lending and credit scoring. They're going to have atomic swaps. And the Dagger JS that they're using is very crucial for atomic swaps, because you need to be able to have real-time information to be able to make these swaps accurately, so that the exchange rate is exactly what it's supposed to be at that time when it exchanges. So this is extremely important as well. Decentralized exchange. I mean, there's so many things that they're doing. Games. They already have the wallet. Like I say, you can test that out. So like I say, my prediction is $4. And before you say I'm crazy and that $4 is way too high, I want to point you to history. And I want to point you to this project right here. And this project got to an all-time high on January 4th, 2018 of $2.09. And if we look at it, the circulating supply is 9 billion. And that token, yes, my friends, is NEM. So it literally got to $18 billion. And have you heard of NEM? I'm sure you have. Do you know what they do? Probably not. So that's the thing. What I look at is you have to understand that this is NEM, right? And this is how high it got in the last bull run. To think that something that has part ownership in Coinbase, what it's going to do on this next bull run, and if you're a believer that this next bull run is going to get to heights of a few trillion or more, then it's 100% feasible for this project that has 3.2 billion circulating supply. And at the time the bull run comes, it'll probably have a little bit more, but still it's going to have about half of what NEM has. It could easily get to $4 in my opinion. And the coolest thing I love about Matic, since I've been researching this and talking to the developers and really looking at the code behind it, is that they're not trying to overtake a bunch of blockchains. They're trying to play nicely with things. And I know a lot of mainnets that are coming out right now are either trying to take tokens away from Ethereum or a different blockchain or whatever. This project isn't doing that. They're able to take your current platform, take the current blockchain platform and scale it, put it on the Matic mainnet and be able to scale it. And then if people want to get off the Matic mainnet, they're able to get off and go back into their token or Ethereum or whatever. And it's seamless to the user. All the technology is working from behind the scenes. So this is the only way to gain mass adoption. The first bull run was complete speculation. We haven't really seen real world use cases yet. And this one, like I say, you can test the app right now. This one is coming out, partnership with Coinbase. My prediction is
Moon. Not Moon. Soon.
Are you saying you're okay?
No. So that's
we are
a
not
very
pumping
standing
price, not financial advice.